If the first game of breaks no get you, don't let us put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, do the games after this win in. Rush it again, we're here for the first minute. Carry my team every 6 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
All I know is go Walls, because that's all I know. Go Walls!
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talking Vols, and my guy Boogie Bentley runs, so shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. His name's Coach Jay. Coach, I gotta be honest, man. I gotta be honest. Listening to that intro, listening to the Needham Maxims kind of breaks my heart, breaks my spirit, breaks my soul right now. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. And I think when you keep it simple, stupid, the Needham Maxims mean something around here. And the team that made the fewest mistakes did win the football game. Tennessee could not get out of their own way. If I told you going into this thing, I said, hey, this is what's going to happen in the first half. Tennessee is going to have a fumble that they're going to scoop and take it the distance. Joey Aguilar is going to throw 2 interceptions. We're going to have a missed field goal. There's no way you're telling me we're only down 6 at the half. This defense laid it on the line tonight. This defense played good enough to win. We've talked all week long. We've talked all year long, Coach, about playing complementary football and how important it is to play complementary football. We've been looking for that defense all year. Tonight, for a lot of the night, not the whole night, we got that defense. It was the offense that didn't play complementary football. Opening thoughts on Tennessee's loss over Oklahoma, 33-27, your final.
We lost. We weren't good enough. We got beat, and congratulations to Oklahoma. Our playoff aspirations are over. Our season isn't over. I don't want them to quit on our season. Do you want to go to lose to Vanderbilt? I sure as hell don't. Would you like to go win in the swamp? I sure as hell would. So I hope the players aren't tucking their tail in between their legs. Playoffs aspirations, yeah, came up short, right? But I don't want this team to ever quit. I just wanted to come out with that. And say it right off the bat. With that said, we weren't good enough tonight. We beat ourselves. I thought the defense played well in the first half. I thought in the third quarter, they got back to playing soft. And I swear, Boogie, it's like you could see everything I was talking about in this game. They played tight in the first half when you watched their coverage. They were tight and mix. They were playing underneath. They stopped the run. Then we got soft again. And it's funny, you know, that last Spillman interception that Redmond forced? What were we doing, Boog? We were playing underneath right there, right? Playing tight and underneath. So just shows that they could do it. And that's disappointing. it showed that they can play well like that, and that we need to look inwardly in this offseason defensively because it hasn't been good enough. Joey was great in moments, but I thought at times he looked like a deer in headlights tonight, and at times he looked sped up by a fast defense. And it just wasn't good enough overall. There's no need to make an excuse. When you came up short, you came up short, and you got to call a spade a spade. Tennessee just beat themselves all night. There's no other way to put it. No other way to put it.
We're going to kind of walk us through this thing. We're going to get you guys through it. Obviously, everybody's mad. Everybody's pissed off. Everybody's disappointed. College football in 2025 is different, right? Nobody's playing for a bowl game. What used to be, a 9-win season and a good bowl game. Remember when Joe Milton did that? Remember when Joe Milton went and won a pretty good bowl game and everybody was celebrating, talking about, Nico in the future? College football ain't like that anymore. College football, when you're trying to take that step, and we talk about this a lot, Tennessee is a good football team. I get it. You're pissed off. You're mad. You're angry. I understand that. Tennessee is a good football team. They're trying to take a step from from a good football team to an elite football team, and that's a tough step to take. And the unfortunate part is when you're trying to take that step, a 9-win season isn't good enough. A 9-win season feels like a failure, and that's just where we're at in college football in 2025. Coach, I want to come back to Joey here in just a minute, and you can start brainstorming here because I'm gonna catch up with the chat. I gave you your opening comments. I'm going to see what their opening comments are, but start kicking around some ideas. I want to come back to Joey. What confused him? They talked about rolling the safeties. He threw 2 really bad interceptions that it looked like he didn't even see the safety. So tell me what Brent Venables was doing there. We're going to talk about that. I also want to talk about something you said too. I'm not quitting on this team. I'll be right here after the bye week, getting ready for New Mexico State. I'll be here getting ready to go to the Swamp, hoping we can go down there and win. I'll be here ready for Diego Pavia to come to Neyland Stadium and hope that Tennessee punches him in the mouth because I don't want a team full of quitters. I don't support a team full of quitters. And if Tennessee quits the rest of the way, we got a huge problem. We got a huge problem in the locker room. We got a huge problem with our head ball coach. We got a huge problem all across that coaching staff if this football team packs it in and quits because their shot at the college football playoff is gone. That's not the way I was raised. That's not the way that you were raised. And I hope that's the way the people in the chat were not raised. And they're going to stick with this football team and encourage them to finish strong because guess what? We're going to go recruit the class of 26, and Josh Heupel is going to try to continue to chase being elite. Let me catch up with the chat. We're going to get through this together. It's therapy tonight. It is what it is. Luke Thompson, too. He dropped the door fee at 5 p.m. We appreciate you, Luke. Will Dyer says it's midway through the second. We have dominated this half, and it's 10-10. Unreal how bad we want to give them this game. The red zone play calling is awful. JG80 became a member of the channel. JG80, we appreciate you. You can do that. It's $1. Hit the join button. We need your support. Win, lose, or draw. We're going to talk about Tennessee football every single day of the year, so shout out JG80, we appreciate your support. Will Dyer for 5. Oklahoma said, here, take the win. Tennessee said, now we don't want it. You take it. Oklahoma said, all right, we'll take it. JG80 says, Vandy and Florida going to beat the brakes off of us. Matthew Watson says, start GMAC and get ready for next year. Cletus the Barber Beefcake says, just no leadership on the field for us, no one to lead and calm the storm or get on somebody's ass if needed. Luke says, please, God, make it happen for us. Caleb Ray says, most embarrassing way to lose and ruin the season. JG80 says, don't be a sunshine pumper, Boogie. We suck and you know it. Why can I not just give my opinion? Why do I have to get attacked for just giving my opinion? I've not said anything. I'm just talking about the game. I don't understand why you get mad at me for just giving my opinion. That's all I do here is give my opinion. I don't form a narrative. I'm not a sunshine pumper. I'm not a negative. I'll just give my opinion. That's it. I don't know why that makes some people mad. I've already removed a super chat. If you're going to give a super chat and throw me a middle finger, I'm not going to read it, man. I'm not going to read it. So you can hang out in the chat and we can talk about the game, but let's talk about football and stop talking about Boogie and his opinion. I'm here to give my opinion and you can give yours. Does that mean I'm a sunshine person? Do you want me to just say that this team sucks? Do you want me to say that Tim Banks sucks? Josh Heupel sucks? Joey Aguilar sucks? Boo Carter sucks? Everybody sucks. Fire them all and let's get new players. Is that what you want me to do? Or do you want me to sit here and talk about what I saw in the game today? Luke Thompson says, you got something you want to say to that, Coach?
I think you said it really well, man. Like you said, if you all could see the amount of times we get called negavols and sunshine pumpers in the same night, it would blow your freaking mind, man. Blow your freaking mind. But I don't pay much attention to people rooting for us to lose. So that's a loser mentality. So I don't pay attention to losers.
Luke says, hard to stomach this loss. Love y'all, though. He also gifted a Talkin VAWLS membership. We appreciate you, Luke. Colorado Life says, pathetic. Absolutely no. Sunshine pumping. Caleb Ray says, Tennessee never get out of their way. No reason that Oklahoma should have been in the game after the first half. We can never, does he mean never be elite until we learn how to play complimentary football and it not be lopsided? I agree, man. That's such a big part of it was just complimentary football. And that's the thing is it's been the defense all year long. It's been the defense that we've been looking for. They showed up tonight. This defense showed up. This defense played good enough to win tonight. And the offense didn't do it. The offense didn't cut it. Sammy P for 20 says, how do I allow that to happen? Oh, wait, how do we allow that to happen? Fire all the assistants, new offensive coordinator, and I remain puzzled on Tim Banks. 1 minute he looks like he has the defense cooking despite injuries. The next second, looks like he is trying not to lose. Thank you, Sammy P. Good old Nate Pruitt says, help us, Boogie. You're our only hope. If I'm your only hope, you got no hope, Nate. We do appreciate you, though. Sammy P says, also tell Boo to get out of Knoxville. I'm done with Mr. Quitter. Balls 22 says, we had our time in the spotlight. Back to mediocrity, back to typical Tennessee. Penn State of the SEC. JG80 says, when I said we'll lose our bowl game to Louisiana Monroe, I knew what I was talking about. Caleb Ray says, Joey Picks look like Brucey from Longest Yard. Noah Cockrell says, clearly the talent fee isn't high enough yet. Randall Perry for 20. We appreciate you. I'm so disgusted, Boogie. How the hell we outplayed them and lose this game? What is it about this team that can't win big games? Big games are hard to win, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Big games are hard to win, and they're even more difficult to win when you turn the football over, when you make Joey made two horrible decisions that led to a loss, right? There's so many things, and we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it and talk about it all. Backflip spaghetti for 50. That is very generous. We appreciate you. O-line, turnovers, drop passes. All my keys broke off in the lock to victory. GBO, but I'm disappointed to say the least. Hate being right when it hurts, but got to take it like you dish it. Thanks, Boogie. The chat is always entertaining. Backflip spaghetti, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the super chat, and I appreciate the support. $50 is not cheap. That is very generous, so thank you so much, my man. Noah Snell says 21 points left on the field in the first half. UT Punkin says time management is trash. Kicker is average at best. Defense is bipolar. Can't tackle. Joey throwing up prayers. Music City Bowl bound. We got Zachary for 10. Defense showed up and only allowed 2 touchdowns. And the offensive, just, I don't know. You guys fill in that blank. On that one, much love, Boogie and friends. Always next year. Meat Wagon says, I'm in Neyland, so I'm hoping back out of the chat. Just wanted to say D didn't lose the game tonight. Coach Josh Heupel did. 4th down play call was unacceptable. Dakota says we need a more reliable kicker.
I want to say one thing. I know you got to jam to him, Boogie. We lose as a team and we win as a team. Coaches, players, fans, everybody. We play as a team, lose as a team, period. That's it. Go.
Nathaniel Hughes says these guys suck across the board. They suck. I won't be attending another game until the staff changes are made. By the way, let's go buy a kicker. Joey should have been benched by quarter 3. Oh, can I just say something, man? Like, guys, I get the frustration, right? I get that we're upset. I get that we're mad. Do you remember the conversations that we've had about Joey Aguilar before tonight? Do you remember the conversations we had leading up to this game? Do you remember talking about Joey and his story and how incredible it was? Do you remember, watching Joey ball out? Do you remember watching the way he competed against Georgia? Why are we going to turn our back on our own? Why are we going to eat our own because they struggle? Do you mean that? Do you really mean that we should bench Joey Aguilar? Do you think that gives us the best opportunity in a football game that, yeah, it was a pipe dream. You're hoping for a miracle. You're hoping you can recover an onside kick and go make a play. You really want to bench QB1 in that situation, or are we just mad, upset, and frustrated? But I do appreciate you, Nathaniel. Thank you for the super chat. So, Boogie, when do we fire Tim Banks? Matthew Watson says, can't wait to play Cincy in the Gasparilla Bowl. Randall Perry says that 4th down should have kicked the field goal. Cordell Luttrell says, can't roll a coach's head here. Joey lost this one. Tennessee Tonto says, who is the strength and conditioning coach? We always have the most injuries. Also, why didn't the clock stop after the first downs and when we went out of bounds? Didn't stop when you go out of bounds because it's the clock starts when you place the ball ready for play until you're inside the 2-minute warning. Not stopping at first downs. I didn't notice that. You guys were talking about it in the Patreon chat. I did not catch that at all. James Cunningham for 20. That is very generous. We appreciate you. First half from the defense was good. Second half was trash. Oklahoma wasn't doing anything special conceptually, and we couldn't do anything to stop them. Losses at home against lesser teams is inexcusable. I think I don't know. I don't know that Oklahoma's a lesser team. I think this is pretty much a pick 'em. I think Tennessee was favored by a small margin because it was in Neyland Stadium. I think Tennessee should have won this ball game. Tennessee could not get out of their own way. Again, everything that played out in that first half. I mean, in the first half, you outgained them 255 yards to 99. You had 17 first downs to their 5. Oklahoma was 1 for 5 on third down. Tennessee was 6 for 8. John Mateer had 44 passing yards. Their top wide receiver had 1 catch for 13 yards. But the fumble, scoop and score, 2 interceptions. You had a missed field goal. You still only trailed by 6. You should have ran them. Oklahoma's offense played so bad, and Tennessee's defense played efficient enough. You should have ran them out of Neyland Stadium. Coach, let's talk about Joey Aguilar. Let's talk about QB1, because you look at the numbers, 29 of 45, almost 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. The 2 interceptions were really bad. I thought at times Joey looked really good, and at times Joey looked really bad. The play action sell, and then he hits Braylon Staley in the end zone. Beautiful sell, beautiful throw. Even some of the ones that he got away with that weren't picks didn't look good. But talk about what Brent Venables was trying to do. Break down the 2 interceptions that Joey threw that looked really bad.
Well, the first thing he does is make adjustments really good. Brent Venables, right? Like even if we think back to last year's game with Nico there, right? The slant was there. There were certain things that were there for the taking early, and Brent adjusted. So he's a really a good mastermind at adjusting, and he was able to rotate safeties over like you talked about and disguise things really well. His base structure, 4-2-5, 3-3-5 fronts, defensive line penetrating one gappers, a lot of times slanting. I thought they stole a lot of what Georgia has done against Heupel past years. Venables did a good job of stealing some of those D-line and linebacker multiple gap disguise blitzes early. But those blitz types, right, they got to Joey. They got to this O-line. David Sanders is a dude whenever he's in the right position. He got mixed up a little. We knew he'd have a couple freshman moments. Dave is elite and will continue being elite.
Stay on target, but do you think one of the sacks he gave up, it looked like just complete confusion? It looked like an RPO to me, but he was clearly passing it off to the running back that was not there. Running back was either in the midst of an RPO or he was selling the play fake. One or the other. Dave thought he had help and didn't. And that happened a couple of times tonight. Couple of times. So is that Dave just not getting the call? Dave not understanding the protection that we're in?
It's part of that simulation. Once again, these creeper blitzes, these double A gap blitzes, Boogie, these fire zone blitzes, safety nickel blitzes, where you rush for, but it looks like 6 or 7 pre-snap. A good example is when the Mike linebacker and the nickel linebacker in this game were showing blitz, but the defensive end was dropping boundary and safety was rolling high up top. It keeps the coverage sound, but it forces the O-line to do something really critical. It forces the O-line to guess, and guessing they were at times, right? And, both the inside linebackers did a good job of mugging the A-gap, right? And what I mean by mugging the A-gap is I felt like the last 2 teams we played, or 3 teams, have had our snap count at multiple times. Oklahoma picked up on that. Venables is really good and picked up on that. He mugged that A-gap. The linebackers were cheating A-gap downhill, and they were rolling safeties in their star position, either up top or underneath. They also mixed in fire zone blitzes, so 5-man pressures, 3 men under. Defensive linemen might drop, but it's used to create turnovers, confuse an offensive line, and disguise things. And it worked like it was supposed to, right? Unfortunate, but it worked like it was supposed to, just flat out, and it confused our offensive line. And I think that's just a product of what he does. And they got beat. They just got beat and out-schemed on that end. And there's no There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah, I mean, we knew going into this game, right? Oklahoma, best defense in the conference. I mean, statistically, they are the best defense in the conference. We had Brandon Drum on from OU Insider. He rattled off name after name after name on that defensive line of dudes that they have, and then guess what? Top guy goes down, doesn't matter, plug and play. I mean, they're a good defense. They're a good football team, and yeah, running the football too. I don't know if it's a choice. I don't know if it's inefficiency, but just the last couple of weeks we have struggled to run the football. Tonight, 35 carries, 63 yards, average less than 2 yards per carry. We struggled to run the football against Kentucky. We struggled to run the football most of the game against Alabama. What is it? Do you think it's a lack of commitment to the run game? I just don't understand why, because it felt like Bishop was so Star Thomas too was so hot early in the year, and it feels like that has kind of faded off. Do you think it's just going up against bigger competition, or is something else going on there that's impacting us in the run game?
I think you hit it on the nose, actually, Boogie. It's about commitment to the run game. Everyone knows the old "Remember the Titans" quote, right? The veer. It's just like Novocaine, right? Takes time, but it always works. And in order for it to take time and always work, you need to keep the Novocaine coming, so to speak, right? So, yeah, you've got to have a commitment to it. I get why they got away at times because they were really coming downhill and biting on that play action. It's just their disguises were good enough at times. The old line, like I said, was exploited. And when they were able to jump the count, they were getting tackles in the backfield, right? So I didn't like that at all. I, and then there were times like I hated that Joey Aguilar, the coaching decision to run Joey on that 3rd and 2. You know which play I'm talking about, where
QB they ran the
Oklahoma,
QB
yeah,
power, and
Oklahoma came out in a bear front, and they should have. Those coaches shouldn't have let that play kept coming. You knew what the outcome was in that situation. So I didn't like that, but just a commitment to running and sticking to it is super important. And it felt like they got a little panicky. And I have notes of they are littered, and I kept pointing at my notes to Miss J. Like she just
she's
like, hey,
I
remember
don't care.
I'm telling
She's
you
like,
this.
where's
She's like,
McIntyre? I don't care.
yeah, where's CMAC? I don't care, right? But I'm pointing why are we taking these huge shots? We didn't need to. Venables adjusted, started rolling deep. They spread out the middle. That's when you go right back to that run and smash it. They adjust, you adjust. They expand, you contract. They contract, you expand, right? So being able to adjust on the fly with them wasn't quick enough, man. And look, this is high level chess, right? Like, and I get it. I'm not hating on you, chat. Like, everyone has the right to fan how they ever want, but just like, it's so hard to do. People aren't stupid and trash because they got out schemed a certain day. That's going to happen. You're going against the best in the business that are making millions of dollars doing this. You're going to get out schemed sometimes, man. Like, it's just the nature of the business. And tonight we got out schemed and we got beat. And like I said, there's no excuse to that. It's just what it was.
Let me catch back up with the chat. I want to stick with play calling. I want to talk a little bit about time management late in the game and kind of go through those last couple of drives. Nathaniel Hughes says, talk about team regression. Players and coaches owe the fans a refund. There's no silver lining. Just ready up that chopping block. Heartless. I don't feel like a coach owes me anything.
God, why do I feel like this is coming from a comment from like, I want to ask you an honest question, Nathaniel. Shoot me it straight in the chat. Be straight up. What was your before the season prediction? What was your prediction the day Nico left? I'm just curious to know because I'd like to get inside other Vol fans' heads, and I'm not trying to be flippant. I honestly want to know. But let me know in the chat, maybe. But my thought was 9-3. I thought they could do better. They got healthy at defense. They didn't. We're kind of out where I thought we'd be under that situation, which is why I want them to keep fighting, right? Because I want to push to 9-3. I want our bad years to be 9-3, and our great years for us to be in the playoffs, fighting for that championship.
John, no, we'll come back to that. I'm trying to ignore some idiots in the chat, and I read it anyway, and then I'm like, wow, people quoting something I said from 2021. I bet it's exactly what I said in 2021, and not somebody having way too much to drink and just looking for a punching bag. I guarantee you, it's the exact quote I said from over 4 years ago. John says we're going to the Taylor Farms Salad Bowl. Good old Nate Pruitt says Tennessee is good enough. The coaches are not. We can't call plays like that without prime playmakers. Coaches absolutely failed us again. Not saying Coach Heupel, but we must make changes. Devontae Coleman says, why can't our offense and defense work together at the same time? That's the biggest question of the season. Why is it always one or the other? Is this a system issue? There's been too many times now. Nathaniel says YouTube did a lot of people a favor tonight. LeBronson James for 2. Why can't Joey scramble? Stays in one spot 10 seconds. I think Joey's been pretty good scrambling most of the year. Dylan for 2 says, I've never seen Nealon rattle our own quarterback before. SP Weasel for 20. That is very generous. He wants me to play the clip, and I'm going to play it because I need to hear it. I need to hear it, SP Weasel.
Rocky Top!
C.F. Bodman for 2 says, I agree with Boogie. I'm mad as a wet hornet. It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be pissed off. It's okay to want coaches fired. It's okay to do it. You feel how you want to feel, man. Feel how you want to feel. Just be careful the way you word things in the chat. That's all I ask. Actually, don't be careful the way. Just don't be a dick. That's it. Just don't be a dick. Feel however you want to feel. Be mad. Be angry. Want to fire coaches. You guys can feel however it is you want to feel. Just don't be a dick. Mountain Medic for 10. I'm sorry, Tim Banks needs to go. This soft playing again in the second half. Joey was not properly prepared for this Oklahoma team. Coach Heupel's fault for letting Banks play soft. Justin for 20. Boogie just dropping in to give this. I will watch tomorrow morning. 9-3 is above expectations. For me, we needed a lot more of these therapy sessions before Josh Heupel, to quote a good man. God bless. And go Vols. A little shout out to good old Nate Pruitt there in the chat. Yeah, 9-3 is above expectations. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. I appreciate the super chat. Landon says we lost and no playoffs, but we have a streak to break in the swamp and possibly get to ruin Vandy's playoff hopes. I will not quit on this team. GBO, I like it, Landon.
Yep.
Norman River, Wind Tornado says awesome environment tonight. Boomer, congratulations. Hey, I appreciate $2. I'll take it from a Boomer fan anytime. We could say that Boo Carter sucks. You could say that. Book Dano for 20. No excuse for this loss. We are the better team. Hastings says, what does Max Gilbert even do in practice? Man, gosh, I don't want to spend too much time talking about kickers, coach, but when you're talking about a game that comes down to 6 points, it's a 6-point game, and their kicker knocks home two field goals from 55 yards, also makes a field goal from 51 yards. What was his fourth one? I had it here somewhere. 55, 55, 51, and 40. Max missed from 37. Also connected from 45 and 48. But when you look at it, man, their kicker won this game for him. He won this game for him. We need some consistency from Max. Mad Mobar says, why does Heupel pat people on the back when they're playing like morons? I think that's his coaching style. And I think you also got to understand different people respond different ways. Like, some people don't respond to that in-your-face aggressive coach like a Nick Saban. Some people do, man. Some people do. Now, Josh Heupel, that's just his style. That's just the way he coaches. It's also the way he recruits, right? Some people say he's too soft in recruiting, that he doesn't recruit aggressively enough. I think it's just his style, his personality. Bryson Moore.
Can I tag on just real fast to that? Sorry. I think you have to self-scout yourself for that reason, and I agree with what you're saying, Boogie. That I 100% agree with what you're saying, that hits his style and he's more of a calm, steady leader guy. But I do think you need to self-scout yourself and get someone who is sharp, aggressive, and pays close attention to details, because details have been killing us the last few years. That's all. That's all. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. Every player.
I mean, look at Coach G.
I've had
Coach
players
G's
shut down when you scream at them, and I've had players go out there and whip some ass because you screamed at him. I've seen it both ways. So,
Well, according to Dublin, something tells me that you never stopped screaming, regardless of whether they liked it or not.
I mean, you probably all y'all probably wouldn't recognize me on the sideline. Let's put it that way. You'd be like, "Who is this person, and what has he done with Coach Jay?"
I got it firsthand from Coach Jay's son. So anyway, let's roll through some more here. Where are we? Bryson Moore for 5 says, honestly, it looked like the 22 South Carolina where they had our play calls. GBO 2000 says, I'm tired of next year mentality. I mean, that's all you can do. Like, look, how many teams are going to not make it to the playoff, right? Look at Ole Miss. Ole Miss didn't make the playoff last year. They're looking pretty good this year.
I just want to know what the alternative is. Just stop watching football. Like, only one team wins a year. Like, it's hard to win, man. Like, super freaking hard, right? Like, you need to be in the hunt and find a way to break through. That's it, man. Like, I want to keep my head down and keep fighting for these next games for next year. For any time, I just want to keep my head down, bite down, and fight. I don't want to just quit. And I just want to know what the alternative to that is. Win every single year. You know what I mean? Like, I that's what I don't get. I don't know. Just trying to have a friendly conversation. I get what you're saying. Like, you're tired of it. You want to win. I get.
We all do.
I get the feeling behind it. Like, I get the Ernst. I just trying to pick at it a little. Sorry, but
let's have that conversation now, because Wayne drops a 20 spot. He says, "Go Vols, be patient, grasshoppers, GBO," and I'm gonna play the clip.
Rocky Top.
Let's have this conversation now, because I get it. Look, everybody here wants to win, right? Like, nobody wants to be here talking about this freaking loss. Like, it's not fun, man. Look, winning is hard. It is hard to win a national championship. It's hard to win an SEC championship. And I get it. Nobody wants a lecture about where we were and where we used to be, but that's the freaking reality of the situation. And I had somebody tell me today that I was crazy for saying that this was a 5 to 6 year rebuild when Josh Heupel took it over. Somebody said, "Oh, you're an idiot. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just an apologist." No, that was the reality of what Josh Heupel took over. So much of this roster was gone. So much of this roster hit the transfer portal. Not only that, you had an NCAA investigation hanging over you for 3 years. For 3 years, when you look at this roster and it's like, man, we still don't have the depth we need. I know. It's because for 3 years, Josh Heupel had this NCAA investigation hanging over him. But we talk about this season and the rest of the way. And used to, it would be, all right, let's win out. Let's go 9-3, and let's go play in a pretty dang good bowl game. Let's go play. Kaner said this earlier in the week. I don't remember if it was on his show or my show. He said, used to, you were playing for one of those Florida bowls. If you weren't going to be, 10 wins, 11 wins, you're trying to play for a Florida bowl. And now, like that, nobody cares now. It's college football playoff or cancel the whole season. Well, guess what? There's only 12 teams that make the college football playoff. So should we just stop playing games? I damn sure don't want to go lose to Florida. I don't want to go lose to Vanderbilt. Do we just pack it up and quit? Like, come at it from a coach's perspective, coach. Like, I don't want to see these. Like, people are pissed at Boo Carter. People want to run Boo Carter out of Knoxville and called him a quitter. I called him a quitter. Somebody just called him a quitter in the chat. Well, what are you if we just pack it up and quit the season? That's the same thing.
Same damn thing.
How do you get a response from these players? How do you get them to buy in, knowing that the number one goal is off the table, but you still got 3 games left to go play?
I don't think the players are going to have trouble doing that. They're athletes. They're going to bite down. The ones who want to be here are here, and they're going to fight for that, right? If they wanted to bolt, they could have bolted when Nico left. At the end of the day, right? They're going to put their nose down and fight. They're not going to panic. Going to over panic. Yeah, they're going to be disappointed, but they're not going to quit. I certainly hope they better not freaking quit. Like I said, I'd be really pissed off if they did that. That would be very, very, very unacceptable. So, gosh dang it, I don't want them to quit. And you've got to get back on the grass, and you just got to work the problem, man. That's it. You just got to work the problem. You got to keep evolving as a team. you have a lot of players on this team that are going to be really damn good football players. I know Jaden Prelati had a really dumb moment and kind of got pulled from the game, so to speak, but he's going to be a hell of a football player. And whether or not Jack Van Dorselaer got his head around quick enough, he's going to be a damn good football player. Ty Redmond's going to be a damn good football player. And we have a hell of a base to work with. And you need to bite down and keep working it, right? That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line, right? Keep working it, keep fighting, never give up. That's how you work it as a coach. You never quit, you never give up.
Shout out to Tim Bradley in the chat. Appreciate you being in the chat, Tim. Long time no see, brother. He says, I said after Ohio State, we're 8-4 with losses to Florida, Georgia, Bama, and Oklahoma. One more to go. 8-1 in the swamp since Bush was president. How many people were there? How many people that are irate right now? And I'm talking to you guys in the chat. If you're irate right now and you're talking about this team quitting, you're talking about this team not having heart, you're talking about Josh Heupel not being able to coach, Tim Banks not being able to coach, Joey Halsley not being able to coach, all these quitters on the team, no heart. Where were you at before the season? Realistically, Coach, you said it earlier. Where were you at? Because I said 9-3 because of we've not beat Georgia. You've not beat Alabama on the road. You've not beat Florida on the road. So those were the three easy ones, right? And it's like, well, what if Coach Heupel finds a way to go beat Georgia? What if we go down there to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama? Josh Heupel's pretty dang good in Neyland Stadium. What if we beat Oklahoma? And then you slip up, you lose to Florida. You see how the season plays out. 9-3 was a safe pick. And now here we are, and we still have an opportunity to go 9-3, and that's where a lot of people were at before the season. But now as we get into it, an expectation shift and emotions get involved, then all of a sudden, this team sucks. This team's no good, and I get it. I ain't celebrating a loss. Nobody's making excuses. We're just having a conversation about it. Like, you don't celebrate 9-3. You don't celebrate that. I get it. You not celebrated it for like 20 years after Philip Fulmer was gone because we couldn't get to 9 wins. We sucked. We couldn't even get bowl eligible. Josh Heupel, the first coach to be bowl eligible 5 years in a row since Philip Fulmer. So I don't take it for granted. That doesn't mean I'm happy. That doesn't mean I'm satisfied. That doesn't mean this is where I want to be. What were your expectations before the season? And what are they now? Why did they change? Why did they shift?
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. All right, let's catch back up with the chat.
We can go. Yeah, go on.
Austin says play column was effing terrible. Blank filled in. Sammy P says Banks and company should be the only staff left in Knoxville. Wait, hold on. Banks and company should be the only staff left in Knoxville. I hope Heupel has it in him to make changes. So do you see what's happening? Sammy P wants everybody but Banks fired. Other people want only Banks fired. We're all over the place, boys. We're all over the place. Caleb says, I've never played quarterback, but I'm smart enough to not throw those 2 passes that got picked off. He just chucked it, hoping to get bailed out.
I don't believe you. I love you, Caleb. I'm sure you're a great guy, and I'm sure you're super freaking smart. But I promise you would throw like 20 picks if you try to play quarterback in the SEC. Love you, brother.
Mountain Medic says, Joey just trying to make plays. Bad play calling. I think this is Orange Sea Line. Josh Heupel, Rick strikes again.
It's too
Corey
early
Smith
to call him Rick. It's too early.
Corey Smith says people are ignorant as hell. Beginning of the season, probably won't make a bowl game. Lose the game you should have won. Now let's shut down the program. Which is it? I mean, that's
us, Corey.
Yeah. That's what mean old coach. That's what mean old coach trying to figure out right now. That's what we're trying to figure out right now. But even this game, like I feel like obviously Tennessee should have won this game. They should have won this game. Sean Cross for 20 says, drove down by myself to watch this crap. Oh, well, scoop and score was ridiculous. It's hard being a ball sometimes, boys. Sun is coming up tomorrow. Sean, I love you, brother.
Championships don't matter anymore, Gary. That's a non-starter argument. No one gives a crap about winning the SEC title anymore. They only care about making the playoff win. I know some people do, but I just want to go to the playoffs and win the championship. I could give a rat's ass about the SEC title.
Volunteer said, he's been a member for 15 months. We appreciate that support. If you're not a member, you can hit the join button. Only $1. Hey, we need you. We need you. Everybody going to bail. Everybody's quitting on this team. We need your support. So shout out Volunteer. We appreciate that. Peyton Bowl says, love the balls, and I'll still watch the rest of the games if this season is over. playing for the Tax Slayer Bowl. Just disappointing. Hate when we lose. When was the better team? When we was the better team. But go Vols. Cordell Luttrell says, all right, let's be real. We knew we were going to take a step back this year. Got a good recruiting class. We will get there, guys. Be patient.
Hey,
yes.
Cordell, take it easy, bro. You sunshine pumping, ridiculous person.
You know, too, like, let me pause here, but because we're kind of still talking about the rest of the way, and some of the super chats are filling in here, and I like that. I like that statement. We're also a young football team, Coach. Like, what is it? 50% of this team are made up of freshmen. So those freshmen need more playing time. Do you make some changes? Do you obviously against New Mexico State, you're going to play as many young guys as possible. You want to win the game, but do you ramp up the snap count for Jaden Perlotti? Do you ramp up the snap count for some of these young guys? Do you give Rad Jackson some more run? What about George McIntyre? Like, I know you're not going to put Joey on the bench unless the game's in hand, but at what point do you say, all right, the playoff is off the table? Does it matter if we play in this bowl, that bowl, or whatever bowl? You still want to win the football game. How do you balance that? But I'm definitely ramping up. Jaden Perlotti needs to be on the field more. I don't want to hate on Arian Carter. We had this conversation in the tailgate show.
Sure.
We had this conversation Friday morning. You made the comparison to Squirrel White. Spot on comparison. It's 3rd and 16, and John Mateer is running the football, and Arian Carter is in grimacing pain and lets Mateer pick up the first down. Jaden Perlotti should have been on the field. Somebody with speed should have been on the field. Arian Carter gave his all for Tennessee, but his all was not enough. He's too banged up. I don't even know why I threw that in there, but go ahead. Playing young guys.
No, he's just too dang banged up. The Dodgers just won the World Series. Not that I'm a Dodger fan, but they did. So there's about to be a bunch of huge fireworks going off around me. No, dude, they pop off in this neighborhood when they win. But it's like, where are they? Yeah, there's certain players I'm definitely getting some time. I'm getting Rad Jackson more snaps. That's nothing against Chris. Chris is an amazing player. I think he should continue to get plenty of time. But start ramping them up a little. Give them a little more juice. There's a lot of good young players to build around, man. It just Edris Farouk continues to impress, man. Heck of a job punching that ball out. Is he perfect? No. Is he still young? Yes. You found one safety. We need an eraser back there now. We need a really, really fast, good erasing help over the top safety. And we're going to have to retool the cornerback's not named Ty Redmond, but I feel like we can bring in the right guys. And I still think our defensive line is bright, man. I think Jordan Ross has been great. I think Herring's been good. There's still just a ton of great pieces. Ethan Utley, there's a lot
Isaiah
Campbell, good young talent. The offensive line's going to be for the most part back. Keep fighting, man. Keep fighting. Keep your head down. Keep fighting and poke through and never give up. Never quit. Always love Tennessee. Always get your teams back, man. That's the way I look at it.
Is safety? And gosh, I'm not trying to get too far ahead here, but I'm just letting the conversation flow tonight. What do you want me to tell you? We shot ourselves in the foot and sucked and got beat by Oklahoma. I'm just letting the conversation flow here. And you talking about a safety. We need an eraser. Is that your priority target in the transfer portal as we roll into next year? Because, again, you got a team full of freshmen, a bunch of dudes with experience. You look at this offense. You're returning, of course, Brazel's going to be off to the NFL, but you're returning Mike Matthews. You're returning Braylon Staley. Travis Smith is a dude, man. He is a dude. Rad Jackson is a dude. A couple of guys that have got some experience this year. You're bringing in a boatload of true freshmen at wide receiver that are uber talented. Dave is growing up right in front of our eyes, but he's also played pretty dang good football. Seeing Jesse Perry play before Dave got healthy has shown me that Jesse Perry is going to lock down that right tackle position just fine. And guess what? Sam's back. Wendell Moy's back. Sham Umrov has shown me that he can play left guard in the SEC. Ethan Davis is starting to be the Ethan Davis we have been looking for. That guy has played really good football the last couple of weeks. 5 catches, 62 yards. Like we talking about Kitzelman blocks and Ethan Davis is more of a dynamic pass catcher. We're starting to see that from him. Tennessee is returning a ton of weapons on offense. The question is going to come down to quarterback play. Is it Jake? Is it George? Can Faison Brandon come in and run this offense as a true freshman? I don't know. But defensively, man, Arian Carter, back. Jeremiah Thielander, back. Do some of those young guys like Jaden Perlotti, do they push for playing time there? What's going to happen with the corners? Is Colton Hood going to go to the NFL? Is Jamal McCoy going to go to the NFL? Is Ricky Gibson going to go to the NFL? I don't know. But his safety, it's my priority. We need to spend money on a safety to be able to win some of these games in the SEC, to take this defense to the next level, patch this defense up. We need an elite safety. Is that your priority?
Yeah, it's a big part of it. I do think you have to look at who's in the transfer portal from a quarterback standpoint. I think you have to, and look, I was disappointed in some of Joey's play today, but I'm also really proud of what Joey's done in such a short amount of time. I know he fights really hard for this school, and I'm really damn proud of that. There's a lot of people who I feel like that's not good enough for. It's not good enough unless you win every game. It's not good enough unless you win the championship. But for Coach, the way Joey's come in, awful or not, at portions of this game, I think he's fought like hell for this university and been a really, really great ambassador for the University of Tennessee. And I'm proud of what Joey's done this year. Very, very, very proud of it. And, proud of that system that's elevated him there. So I do think you need to, not to get off on a tangent on that, but I wanted to make sure it was stated. I think you got to look at that, right? Like if you see the right guy there and you're like, oh man, I could get him in the early portal and have time with him, a little bit of time with him. Sure. If you find the right guy, that could be a priority. But the safety and shoring up the secondary, to me, are going to be the most important things out there, because your D linebacker and D lineman and linebacker group, I think you got a lot of young talent that's going to age really well there, and a lot of pieces that will fit well together, right? Like you look at Christian Gash, should be back to healthy next year. I think even a guy like Ty Weathersby, right, is starting to take some big steps. I think your D line and linebackers can be a weapon next year. The system's got to be solid. We got to look inward a little bit from a coordinator standpoint. I'm not saying you have to change or not change, but changes have to be made, if that makes sense. But the safeties, the corners, I think need to be the priority in the portal, certainly.
The corner position is, man, it's heartbreaking, because when you look at the talent at that position, man, and adding Colton Hood and what that would have been for this team had Ricky Gibson been healthy, had Jermod McCoy been healthy. And I know that it doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the injuries. But the fact that Jermod McCoy is so good that he doesn't play a single snap in 2025, and he's going to have the opportunity to go to the NFL draft, I think Ricky Gibson has the opportunity to go to the NFL draft. I think Ricky would benefit by coming back for another year. Now, can you sell Colton Hood, who at one point was being projected as a first-round draft pick? Can you convince him to come back? Do you spend enough NIL money to get him to come back? Dude, I love that kid. Watching him fight through the block on it was a little quick out. Early in the game, fight through, like attack. He always attacks.
It was. I'll tell you what play that was, Boogie. Unfortunately, that was the play that would set up a long 3rd and 16.
It was that second down.
This is I wrote all over. I think this was when I was pointing and yelling at poor Miss J, sitting on the couch. Soft. We've gone back to being soft, man. 3rd and 16, you're playing aggressive and downhill, and now all of a sudden you're like, okay, let's vacate everyone. deep cloud zone, push them back. Didn't make any damn sense, man. Disappointing. That play I thought was a turning point in the game, just as much as the play where David misses the block on a miscommunication and Joey stripped and the guy runs it back. Kitzelman, I love you. Just tackle him. You don't got to strip the ball there, buddy.
Dude,
Just tackle
so
him.
frustrating.
What are you doing? What are
So
you doing?
frustrating.
Right? Like that was frustrating. No doubt about it. Just like I said, came up short tonight. Wasn't good enough. Coaches weren't good enough tonight. Players weren't good enough tonight. Team as a whole, special teams wasn't good enough tonight. And addressing that and self-analyzing and pressing forward is how to push through it.
Let me catch back up with you guys. Y'all are being very generous with super chats. We appreciate it. As I say every single time we do a post-game show after a loss, you're welcome to feel how you feel, man. We're one big, huge community here. We appreciate the support of everybody that comes around here, whether you drop a super chat, whether you're a member of the channel, whether you pick up merchandise, or whether you just hang out in the chat and smash the thumbs up. All that stuff helps the channel, and we are grateful. If you would hit that thumbs up down there below the video, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. I'm going to be up early in the morning making a day after video. We're going to do a fan call-in show, 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night. If you're mad, you're angry, you want to fire coaches, why is it always the most vocal, angry, irate psychopath never wants to come talk to me and Coach Jay? Come talk to us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time.
I'm on the show.
And we'll have a conversation. That's the beautiful thing about this community. You're not going over to some of these other channels and coming on the show and getting to voice your opinion. Come do it with us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Monday morning, Kaner will be in the house. I do have some stuff going on Monday and Tuesday night. So next week, because it's the bye week, Wednesday night, we're going to play EA Sports College Football. It's going to be a laid-back, chill stream. Y'all can come and hang out. We'll talk Tennessee football. No Friday morning stream. It is the bye week. We'll bounce back the following week. I'll keep you guys up to date on the schedule. But let me catch up with you guys. Darius for 20. That is very generous. We appreciate it. Coach D played super well. Any reason 3rd and 16 we were playing zone instead of this was 30 minutes ago.
No, there's no reason. Like I just said, it was insane. It was insane. So no, there was no logical reason to be doing so. And I'm not saying you can't play clever coverage to guard against the first down line, but there's a way to do it aggressively too. And the way we handled it wasn't it.
He also says Joey had a bad game, but legit wasn't his entire fault. Y'all flip on people so fast. Why? Oklahoma D-line is number 1 for a reason. Shout out, Darius. We appreciate you, brother. Darius comes and hangs out on Tuesday nights. I hope Darius is in the chat Wednesday night. He brings the vibes on EA Sports Night. It's always a good time. Mountain Medic for 2. Sorry, Boogie just got a vent to somebody. GBO. Hey, it's all good. Y'all bring your opinions. You don't need to throw uppercuts at me, but bring your opinions. Curtis Say drops 5, man. Nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We appreciate you, Curtis. Upbeat freebie for 5. Why can't Josh Heupel coach in big games? I would say the Alabama game in 22 was big. I would say the Florida game in 22 was big. Josh Heupel has done a lot of big things at Tennessee. He is trying to take the next step. How would you grade? How would you grade Josh Heupel? When Josh Heupel was hired, and you had to go to Google and look up who Josh Heupel was, who, and I say that loosely, like I'm satisfied with what Josh Heupel has done through 4 2/3 of a year. Satisfied.
Yeah, I like his food, but I'm still hungry.
And that's okay, right?
I
want more.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but it, like I said, he's done some big things at this university. Yeah, he hasn't done the big thing yet, but that's really, really freaking hard to do, right? Like, it's hard to turn a program around and win the whole damn thing, right? Like, I know everyone's mentioning the Indiana coach. He hadn't won crap. What's he won? He got booted out of the playoffs really quick, too. He's having a great year. Do I think Indiana wins it all this year? No, I don't. it's hard to win the national championship. Period. Really hard. Really, really damn hard. Uh, especially under the new rules. Really, really, really damn hard with NIL in the modern era.
Comparing Josh Heupel to Butch Jones. Butch Jones never won 10 games at Tennessee. Josh Heupel's done it twice in 4 years. Tonto Pretend says you'll catch it in the rewatch. We had 2 first downs before the 2-minute clock didn't even stop. Kept rolling. Doesn't matter now, but I blew a gasket in the moment. Why do we always have the most injuries? I didn't catch the clock running. I'll see if I can pay attention to that, Tonto. We appreciate the super chat. Curtis Say says 3 runs and pass again after a turnover. Why? Yeah, I mean that was taking advantage, capitalizing on turnovers. And Tennessee did score on that late drive after the Edwin Spillman interception. Too little, too late. But yeah, I get it, man. Sammy P says stop calling for Kiffin. Heupel ain't leaving. Call me sunshine all y'all want, but he ain't. Heupel does need to make changes, but he needs to stay. I agree, Sammy.
I don't want Kiffin at all, man. Keep me very, very.
Kiffin's not coming back here. He ain't coming back here. Curtis Say says 3 runs and punt again after a fumble recovery. No passing. Make it make sense. Caleb Bray says everyone adjusts at half. We stay the same. Worsen. Jeff Brooks says I'll miss the $1 million man maybe in 26. Robert, what's up, Robert? Throwing to a freshman tight end out of a timeout with a yard to go and shotgun set. Horrible from Josh Heupel in every way. Robert, you commented on Twitter. You could get mad at me because I'm going to disagree in just a second. Cletus, maybe not. I do kind of agree with some of that. Cletus the Barber Beefcake says we got beat by a kicker wearing Daisy Dukes. Nathaniel Hughes says I expected a team with a chip on their shoulders who would play with heart. A team that when they hit that give my all for sign, they'd mean it. They fail to do that. That is where there's anger. That is why it's unacceptable. You don't think they played with heart, though? Like, I think they played with heart. Did you question effort tonight? I think maybe there's a difference between heart, effort, and executing perfectly, not making a mistake. I thought this team played with heart. Agree.
Yeah, no, I thought a lot of them played with a lot of heart. I don't want to say all of them. I mean, I don't think Bukari played with a lot of heart tonight. So yeah, I don't want to say all of them, but yeah.
RS for 10 says we got to be real. 9-3 or 8-4 is reasonable. This is just an okay football club this year. It is what it is. Coach Hype has to get some ballers in there. My thing is this. 8-4, I said, what does it look like? How did we get here? You go down to Florida and just lay an egg. You got to ask questions about that. But also, if you start stringing together 8-4 this year, 8-4 next year, then you got problems, right? We're coming off a 10-2 college football playoff run, and QB1 bounced in the middle of the night after spring camp. I'd say we're sitting pretty dang good based on those circumstances. QB1 bounced after spring camp. Our 2 starting corners are screwed up for the year. I'd say we're doing all right. Wayne for 20. Shout out, Wayne. We appreciate you. Max, kick a few from the right hash, bro. Oh, Max Gilbert. Oh, so frustrating. Gary says, you know who responds to in-your-face winners? I don't even know what that means.
I'm confused.
Who responds to in-your-face?
Come on and talk to us, Gary. I love you. Come on. I really do want to hear from you tomorrow.
That was 30 minutes.
I want to hear I like Gary's opinions.
He's talking about coaching.
Oh,
I bet because that was 30 minutes ago. That's what it was. I'm going to catch up with all you guys. MG Way says, what was that 4th and 1 play call freshman tight end? Oh, we're going to talk. Don't let me forget, Coach. We got to talk about that. Upbeat Freebie says, I think as volunteer fans, we hype this team up every year just to get disappointed. Anton, is that New Zealand? $3.49 New Zealand. What can I buy with $3.49 from New Zealand, Coach? Do you know?
No. Sex wax. Like the surfboard wax. It's not what you Southerners.
I ain't from California, bro. I have no idea.
Okay. So I said I was like, I'm gonna get roasted for this.
Anton says, no excuses. Look at Signetti and Indiana.
The way he beats the crap out of Big Ten giants like UCLA is super impressive. Look at everything he's accomplished.
Big Kuwa for 5 says coaching staff is what? Besides Banks, Coach Josh Heupel has done the best with injuries and youth this year. Defense will be better next season, as well as the offense. GBO, we appreciate that. Matthew Watson says, bring back Pruitt and let him cook. Okay. Michael Webb for 2, appreciate you. Chris Van Oy for 2, go pay some of that A&M level money, speed it up. Where are we going to get that money, though? That's the question. He also says, and go get Coach Eckler back. Robert says, I thought we were 8-4 before the season. Tyler Maxwell says it hurts a lot. All I know, go Vols till I die. Joseph Harvey says, please remember the dumpster fire that Coach took over, people. Love my Vols. People don't want to talk about the past, Joseph, but you have to talk about that. You have to. When people, like when you grade Josh Heupel, you got to go, who in the hell would have came to Tennessee when Josh Heupel did? Who? I'll wait. There's a reason in his contract that it was what I can't remember what the clause was in his contract, something to do with the NCAA investigation, but it was a dumpster fire, man. Thomas Larkin says being the better team and giving 2 home games away. Gibby the Great says anyone that says that this team as a whole sucks has clearly not watched Auburn. Sammy P says to clarify, every coach on offense not named Heupel, send them packing. Cesar has been a member for 41 months. Sammy P for 44 months. We appreciate you guys. Yee for 2 says, I love Josh Heupel. Too many fair weather fans in here. Bert Smith Real Estate says, just got on, but for me, it's not losing. It's the way we lost. Thought for sure after the half we get a stop and score. First drive, we win. I thought the same thing, Bert. Hope you still enjoyed the game with your son, man. Hope you guys still formed some memories and had a good time. Peyton Bowl says 9-3 is a great season, but I don't think we were losing to Oklahoma, so let's just hope we can get there still. Robert Tuck says, I really wish Shady Hayward would transfer here. Peyton Bowles says, dropping this game now has me more worried about the swamp. LeBronson James says, how did Boo play? Didn't pay attention to him. Corey Smith says, side note, I love watching Farouk play. Man, he's growing up in front of our eyes. Seth Tunnel for 20. That is not cheap. We appreciate that. Boogie Coach Jay, I just can't with this fan base anymore. Why are we so rabid and out of touch? Season ain't over. Joey's been great. Beside a few bad decisions, people want to turn on him like coaches.
It's a fresh
tired of the toxic VFL GBO. Let's play the clip for Seth. I like that super chat.
Rocky Top.
We got a few more, Coach. Just a few more, and then we're caught up. We appreciate you guys being patient. Do want to read all your super chats because those donations keep the lights on, and we're grateful. GBO 2000 says, I'm a Vol fan through and through, but let's be honest, Boogie, we're not beating Florida in the swamp, and if Oklahoma can beat us at home, Vandy definitely will. See, I don't play that game, though. I don't play that game where after a loss or a win, I don't write off games or chalk up wins. We go play football, man. We'll go play football. We're going to get healthy during the bye week. We're going to go play a glorified scrimmage, and then we're going to go down to the swamp. We're going to try to beat the Gators. The Gators are not very good. They're not. Does that mean that Tennessee's going to go down there and win? I don't know, but I dang sure am ready to see them suit up and go down there and get that win. Anton with another New Zealand 349. Lose to Gators and Vandy. Might make 26 class think twice. What?
I want this bet. Gary, can we make a bet? $100 super chat. I'll put $100 super chat if Vandy wins. If Tennessee wins, you put $100 super chat. Who wants to see the bet? Let's make.
I do because I make $100 either way.
Boogie's like, this
Let's
sounds
do
like
it.
a hell of a
Anybody
bet.
else want to take this bet? I'm down for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to make you a little money, brother. Just trying to put a little sugar on a salty day.
Gary says that's my birthday weekend. How about this? Instead of me, Gary can drop the $100 super chat. If you owe him, you can send him a free Talkin VAWLS shirt. You can go to Bonfire and just change the shipping
There
address.
There you go.
He says you don't want. See, you're not putting your money where your mouth is, Gary. You run that mouth and talk all that trash and then cave immediately. Anton, we read that one. Thank you, Anton. Appreciate you, brother. Trenton Lund says, just got in from the game, been to several games. And to me, the Neyland effect didn't seem to be in place tonight. Did you feel that on the broadcast? I said it in the Patreon game day chat, which, by the way, you can go check out Patreon. I'll put the link in the chat. We need your support. We would appreciate it. It didn't seem like Neyland was that loud. It felt like it was loud early. But again, you're talking about dark mode, Neyland at night, college football playoff eliminator. It's all on the line. They introduced the new head baseball coach. Josh Elander walks out there. Everybody's fired up. Light show, fireworks, blah, 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 blah. You come out and you even start fast, coach. You go right down the field and score. And then your defense goes out and gets a stop. And then the sack fumble, I think,
the momentum. It changed the momentum
out of the entire place. And I don't feel like we ever got it back.
Nope.
I don't feel like we ever
Nope.
got it back.
Nope. There were times where it's like we moved the teeter totter, but we didn't put our feet all the way down, if that makes sense. Yeah. Momentum is a tricky thing in football, and it takes some gusto to take it back, and we did not have the ability to do that tonight.
Randall Berry for 20. Appreciate you, Randall. Says all these people calling for Hype may eat crow if Hype takes another job and we go to again for the next 15 years. People forget so fast where we come from. I'm convinced the most vocal fans have only been fans since 22. Very generous super chat, Randall. I appreciate you, brother. Seth for another 20. I'm not
Can
done
I make a
venting.
wish right now? Can I read it?
People need to put up some of these Hype stats against the rest of the SEC, against people not named Kirby and Saban. He holds up pretty well. May have to do the call in and unload on these dumb fans. You don't have to insult people, but you can spit facts because they get tired of me doing it, because I remind them all the time and then they get mad at me for it. But it's the truth, man. Like 10 win seasons are not like, golly, 11 wins. That I've said this a million times, Coach. I've said it a million times. Josh Heupel winning 11 games in 22 was all the best thing to happen to Tennessee in a long time and the worst thing to happen to Josh Heupel, because it immediately shifted expectations to we're supposed to win 11 games every season. And then when you slip up and you drop off to 9, and then even when you come back up to 10, like remember last year, it was just 12 months ago. Like that was not good enough. Like going 10-2 was not good enough. Everybody wants perfection, and that is the goal. Strive for perfection. It's hard to obtain perfection. Coach, you were going to say something.
Nah, it's
Did
good.
you already forget?
Yeah, I already forgot.
See, sometimes when I keep talking and reading super chats, it maybe keeps you from smarting off at somebody. Is that what happened?
You did a great job.
Sean Cross from 10 says, I had my finger up for one outside the stadium, and father and son gave me their extra because I wasn't drunk. So there's that. So Brady is paying off. They were great people in all seriousness. Proud of you, Sean. I know I've said that to you before, man, but I'm proud of you. You keep doing it, man. Hang in there. It's inspiring. I'll say that. It's inspiring what you're doing. Sean dropped another 2 and says, I'm driving 90 and super chatting. I'm proud of you for not drinking. Maybe let's not drive 90 in super chat, right? Let's maybe not drive 90 in super chat. We still got 750 people watching. It's almost 1 a.m. We got to set the clocks back tonight. Don't forget to do that.
Oh.
We appreciate all the super chats. Smash the thumbs up, all that good YouTube stuff, Coach. Anything else? What else you got for me on this game tonight against Oklahoma? Ugly loss.
Yeah, just like I just said, the big shots. I didn't feel like we were sticking to the run. We weren't taking what was given. There was a lot of good checkdowns early. I mean, 0-3 in turnovers early is going to suck the life out of any stadium. But the converse of that is they did get back up at times. We did force some timeouts, some late snaps. So I do feel like the crowd had their moments, certainly.
I will say this, man. I hope some people in the chat don't wake up tomorrow and regret the stupid things that they say in the chat, because you're not going to be a part of this community. You're not going to be a part of it anymore. So I hope you don't wake up tomorrow and go, man, I was a drunk asshole last night, and I said something about Boogie that I should have never said, because Boogie's a pretty good dude just on there hanging out talking ball football. So I'm going to insult him and attack him and accuse him of doing things that he doesn't do, so I can get banned. So when you wake up tomorrow and you're pissed off because you can't be a part of this, that's on you, bro. That's on you. Say some more. Say some more. Go float around the internet and tell everybody what I say and what I do, because you're a clown. You are a clown. I cut you off for that, Coach. See, you didn't keep talking and stop me from yelling at somebody in the chat. You're muted, Coach. We sell a shirt.
I got to do one. I was trying to protect your guy.
You're muted again. How did you do?
I don't know. My hand slipped. 0-3 at one point, and the turnovers was crucial. Clock management at the end, I didn't like. I think everyone didn't like it. We need to self-evaluate our clock management. I feel like it's been I know it's been a continuous problem. We have to be better at that. Have to be better at that. That's going to get you beat a lot, because big games are going to come down to clock management. You need someone that's their job. They're an expert at it, and they can be in your ear really, really quickly over the headset, over the comms. You know, I've been on high school teams where their job is there's a clock management guy, and that's what he does. We talk about scenarios. You prep for those scenarios. Why aren't we ready to manage the clock? Why don't we have clear definitions of what needs to be done in certain situations? It just feels too randomized for me.
So obviously in previous games, Coach Heupel's been questioned for clock management. In this game, are you talking into the game clock management? You talking about the drive with 4 minutes left, little over 4 minutes left, down 9? Is that what you're referring to? So you got 4:18 left. I think they had two timeouts on the clock. Do you think they should have kicked the field goal? Because that drive, you started on your own 45. You run a little short pass to Ethan Davis, which I kind of question that. It's like, I get you want to take what they give you. Then Joey scrambles for 9. You pick up a first down, little swing pass to Bishop for 12. You got a 1st and 10, 2 minutes and 46 seconds. You check down to Bishop for 12. You get down to the Oklahoma 20. You kick a field goal there, Coach, and then you got 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. I know Kirk Herbstreit was talking about it.
Yes.
Talk about that.
100% of the time, it gives your defense time to where they might even be able to surrender a quick first down. I mean, they're not certainly letting them bust the one up the gut for 50 yards or whatever, but it just buys you a ton of time, and you need it anyway, right? Like, go ahead and do that. It doesn't make any sense to me to push the envelope and take yourself down to where you don't even get the 2-minute timeout. It's essentially changing 4 timeouts for 2. I mean, it seems like basic math to me, but
Do you think
I get it.
At that point, I don't, because we were having this conversation in the game day chat on Patreon, and they're all saying kick it, kick it, kick it. And I'm like, do you think Heupel's scared to let Gilbert kick it because he's already missed? And that at the 20, you're looking at a 37-yard field goal, but he's going to have to make a field goal most likely to win the game anyway.
Would you rather trust him to make a 40-yard, 35-yard, 45-yard, 30, 40-yard field goal right there, set him up from the middle real quick?
Or a 50-yard,
or would you rather have to get an onside kick at the end of the game? Because that's what we're talking about. I mean, that's ultimately our decision. So to me, it's no. I mean, I love pulling onside kicks on you, Boogie. I know we like doing them on each other, but no, I want my defense to be in a situation where you have timeouts, where you have a little leeway, and I want to pin my ears back and let that defense play aggressive, get the ball in our hands, and we have a chance to go out there and win by 1.
Let's talk about the play call. Fourth and 1. What's the score right there? Was it a 2-score game? I think it was a 2-score game at the time. 4th and 1. Josh Heupel goes for it. They come out big formation. In my mind, I'm going, they're running the same freaking play call. That was the pick 6. I'm like, that's what they're going to run. That's what they do.
So
hits Jack Van Doorslayer right in the face, and then the ball falls to the grass.
Who's been yelling for Van Doorslayer? Who's been cheering him since the film breakdown of him? Yep. I still think he's perfect for Heupel's system. I said it at the beginning of this chat. I think Jack Van Doorslayer is going to do amazing things in this offense. With that said, the way Ethan Davis was playing tonight, that's who I'm pushing through there. He's got a little more age on him, a little more size on him. I think he can absorb a chip a little bit better. Wasn't I yelling during all these Georgia matchups the last few years about chip and tight ends running through?
Exactly.
Weird.
When they showed the replay, I was like, this is what Coach wants us to do on defense.
It's almost like I'm a defensive coordinator or a defensive analyst, and I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, you need a tight end that could absorb that a little better. I think Van Doorslayer is going to grow once he's got 2 full years in that college weight room. I think you're going to see even a highly different player next year. But I think Ethan Davis has to get that play. Does he make that catch? Does he whip his hat around quick enough? Maybe does he absorb the contact a little better, like I said? He runs a little cleaner of a route, Ethan Davis does at this point. He might have been a little smoother to that area, and I don't know why he wasn't put in that situation unless it was this train of thought. They're not going to think we're throwing to the freshman unless just that was that decoy. But I don't like that decoy. It's just too much trust and
Plus,
too big
man,
of a moment.
yeah, sometimes you get in your head too much and you start getting too cute. And it's like, well, they're
Yep.
going to not expect this, so I'm going to do it. Well, maybe they're not expecting it because it's not the best idea. This is why when Robert dropped a super chat, and Robert commented on Twitter too, and I saw it. I don't necessarily hate the play call. The only thing I hate about the play call was the pick six, battered ball syndrome. I'm going, oh God, hear this again. As soon as we went jumbo, I was like, they're doing this, they're throwing it in the flat. I knew they were going to throw it in the flat. I don't hate the play call. I wish it wasn't to a freshman. I do agree with Robert
It was
on
open.
that. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's what I said about the pick six, right? Against Alabama. It's like it was open. If Joey throws it to the outside, it's a touchdown. Nobody's complaining about the play call. If Jack Van Dorsett catches that and picks up the first down, nobody's complaining about the first down. And that's some of the frustration, man, of going after coaches. And they got to be better. They got to be better offensively, defensively. Everybody's got to be better. It's the players and the coaches together. But when the players execute and make plays, then maybe the coaches don't look as bad. You know what I mean? Like you make that catch, Joe makes that throw. Are they shooting off fireworks? Go Dodgers!
Dude, like, they're going crazy, man. They are going crazy.
I've not watched a whole lot of the World Series, but I have watched a couple of different nights. Let's see. Moosey is a Boomer Sooner fan. Thank you for the $10. Says I have to tip my hat to the Vols and the beautiful state of Tennessee. The Vol fan base is rowdy, and I love the atmosphere. Shout out, Moosey. Appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Congratulations as well. Sell a 4 for 10. Says losses like this just make me fear losing top recruits and key players. It just hurts. It really does. I just don't understand having an offensive coordinator and the head coach calls plays. Conservative never works. Do you think that's something Josh Heupel needs to do to take the next step, is focus more on, because he gets questioned a lot for game management, and it's a lot on a head coach to be calling the offensive plays. You're essentially the offensive coordinator and also having to game manage. And Josh Heupel struggles with game management. If there was one big criticism, that's it. Do you think he needs an offensive coordinator that he can trust to call the plays? And was Alex Golesh that guy? Does he just not have the confidence in Joey Halsey? I don't know who called plays when Golesh was there. I really don't. I think it was a combination, but I think Josh Heupel definitely calls the majority of the plays now.
I think he always has been involved in the play calling. I think Golesh had really good eyes, and Heupel really listened to his eyes. But I think Heupel still called plays then. And yeah, I think it's a big part of it. You know who else really struggled with clock management these past few years? Billy Napier. You know who calls their own plays? Billy Napier, right? When you defend everything, you defend nothing. And it's a shame because it's a really super important thing. And you can't win those big games without it. You need good clock management. It's important going into everything from quarters to halves to ends of games. It's huge. And what do we know about the SEC now? There's going to be lots and lots of tight games at the end, right? We've been in overtime games this year. We have to be better at clock management. We have to look inward, and we have to make a change that can help us correct our clock management issues, or we'll be doomed to make the same mistakes.
Mountain Doom for 5 says, what is wrong with our running game? Just wondering. Yeah, it's been off the last few weeks, man. I felt like it wasn't as efficient against Alabama, wasn't as efficient against Oklahoma, and it was non-existent today. Averaged 1.8 yards per carry. Of course, Joey added -6 on the negative plays, but Deshaun Bishop, 3.2 yards per carry. Peyton Lewis, 3 yards a carry. Star Thomas, 2 yards a carry. And you got to give credit where credit's due, man. Oklahoma's a dang good defense. We said they were the number one defense in the country all week long for a reason. And they went out there and they played like the number one defense in the country. And then Tennessee didn't do themselves any favor, shot themselves in the foot, turnovers, the scoop and score, 2 picks. You can't do that and win in the SEC. It's frustrating. It's maddening. It's disappointing. We got to find a way to bounce back, recover. Got a bye week, get healthy. You got a glorified scrimmage, and then you got to go down to the swamp. And it's gut check time, man. You find out who you're made of. As a fan, it's easy to say, I'm done, I'm out, I'm not watching anymore. Guess what? Player don't get that liberty. A player can't say I'm done. Player can't say I'm out. I'm bailing. They gotta go down there and they got to play the Gators. They got to go play Vanderbilt in Neyland Stadium. You got any pride? if you have any pride in yourself, you got to strap it up and go play football. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I hope this team does that, man. I hope they go out and compete, and I expect them to. They've given me nothing. They've shown me nothing that makes me think that they're going to roll over and play dead and fold for the rest of the year. I expect them to go out and compete the rest of the way. Let the chips fall where they may, and let's go hit the recruiting trail. And yeah, no, I'm tired of waiting for next year. So am I. But guess what? Next year's going to come. We're going to go play football, and all of us are going to be sitting right here hoping that we go get it done, because that's what we do, because we're diehard, passionate, psychotic Tennessee fans. Coach, any final thoughts on the loss to Oklahoma?
It sucked. My final thought is it sucked. I hate it. It hurts when Tennessee loses, man. I remember we were talking about in the room before I came in here, right? Like, I used to be that fan who, after we lost, in this case in a bye week, I wouldn't watch anything. I wouldn't watch Boogie. I wouldn't watch nothing until the New Mexico game. That'd be the next time I even looked at something Tennessee. I'd wear my gear the next day. That's a big thing. I always try to wear Tennessee gear.
Always wear Tennessee gear to church. Always wear it to church after a loss.
It's huge to me to wear the gear after a loss. I can't, man. You all know my story, dude. I grew up in California, saw a game, fell in love with the fan base, and it's in my blood, man. It's just, I don't know why, but it is. It's in my damn blood, and I can't stop it. I didn't quit on Tennessee during Derek Dooley. I didn't quit on Tennessee during Lane Kiffin or Butch Jones or Jeremy Pruitt. I'm never going to quit on them. Never, ever, ever, ever. I love Tennessee football. I love everything it is, and I love all you crazy son of a bees in the chat as well. Even though we hate each other sometimes and fight sometimes, because we all want better. It's funny, we're fighting over the same thing, right? We all want better. We all want to win. We all love Tennessee, and let's just keep this communication and community going, and let's keep cheering for our team, because I'm not a quitter. I don't want to quit. It's not in my blood. It's just not how I'm built. And got to get better. It starts against New Mexico, and every game on after that, and keep fighting, keep pushing, and go Big Orange, man.
All right, we're going to call it a night. Almost an hour and a half on the post-game show. We appreciate you guys riding with us, sticking with us. Your sport means the world to us. Without that sport, this show doesn't exist. If I got to go back and work a 9 to 5, I'll go back and work a 9 to 5. But I think you guys are so passionate, psychotic, and crazy, and love Tennessee as much as we do. So we keep rolling forward. If you're not a member, hit the join button. We appreciate that support. You can go grab some Talkin VAWLS merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. All those links are in the description below. I'm grateful for the support that you guys give this channel. We're going to be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, for the day after video. Put some thoughts together. Let the emotion maybe slide away just a little bit, and then we'll come back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, fan call-in show. And then Monday morning, Kaner will be in the house again. EA Sports College Football moving from Tuesday to Wednesday, so come hang out for that. But for Coach Jay, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That's all.